Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we are revisiting an awesome graphics program. Now, when you think of free open source graphics applications, you probably think of one of three apps. GIMP, which has been around for a very, very long time, kind of an open source alternative to, say, Photoshop. Then we've got Inkscape, kind of a open source alternative to Adobe Illustrator. And, of course, we've got Krita, which is a drawing and animation application, and probably my favorite of those three, if I'm honest. But the truth of the matter is there is a fourth player that should get a lot more exposure than it does, and that is an application by the name of PixiEditor, and that is what we are going to look at today. PixiEditor is, without exaggeration, an awesome program. So here, what you see in front of you, this is PixiEditor editing a screenshot of PixiEditor. And the thing about PixiEditor is this is a all singing and all dancing application. It does a lot. As you might be able to notice right here, there's painting mode, pixel art mode, vector graphics mode, and then adjustment mode. Now, the reason we're talking about it today is there have been some improvements to this application recently, such as the addition of adjustment mode, plus we've got new brushes, etc. It's expanded at an incredible rate. What you see here, very cool drawing application. Come down here, a lot of it is optimized towards like a pixel art thing, as you can see by like these small resolution default square resolutions you often see with textures or sprites. But of course you can do full-blown graphics as well, easily enough. So let's go with a 512 by 512 sprite, and let's go ahead and create it. So here you can see your default view here. And if you are working with pixels, you can, of course, zoom in and have a grid per pixel right there. You have your traditional drawing tools here. So let's go over here into pixel art mode. And let's say I wanted to draw a traditional line. Boom, I can draw it like so. Very straightforward drawing art style tools. Everything you've come to know and expect in a traditional pixel art, chunky, fat grid type approach, if you want to work with pixel art. But if instead you want to work with vector graphics, you can do that as well. So here you can see this is, again, a smoothly drawn graphic that's using vector or math version versus the chunky, fat pixel art version. And you can mix and match these together. As you can see here, this is creating a smart layer, a vector layer here, whereas this has created a pixel layer, and then we can start blend them together, merge them together, or however we wish. So there's your simple pixel art tools as well as your vector art tools. You have palette controls over here. You could create your own palette easily enough. So let's say here, and then I want to go ahead and create like a red pixel. I can create it fixed, so I can have fixed palettes. We can actually even import in palettes from something like low spec, etc. So if you're doing pixel artwork, all of the tools are here for you, which is, again, quite cool. This is the kind of thing that you would use something like a sprite for traditionally. So that is kind of one of the aspects, but you might not be that impressed so far. Okay, so you got vector graphics, you got pixel art, and then you've got painting tools here, digital painting, spray paint, that kind of stuff. But what makes this so special? Well, we also have animation tools. So here you can see, here's a slime, for example, and what I can do basically goes down here, and you see basically keyframed animations, and you can see here we've got onion skinning turned on, so you can see the previous frame as you're drawing through. So here, this one, I can see the previous frame. I can go ahead and turn that off if I wish, and I can go ahead and export that one out into a variety of formats. Since this one is an animation, you'll see here I can actually export this one out as a couple different options here. It's got GIF or MP4, or as a ping image sequence as well. So if you're rendering out a number of different animated sprites, you can do that. But you're also going to see here, if you're working with this for game development, you can have this automatically render out for sprite sheets or texture atlas that you could then literally just drop in your game ready to use. That is kind of rare and, again, quite cool. But I'm still only scratching the surface of what this thing is capable of, because we can also do things like this. Let me go ahead and turn the grid off in this case. So this is a pixel art thing, and you're thinking, okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and play that. Hey, wait, there's animation going on there. How is that animation happening? Well, you'll notice down here in the timeline, there is absolutely nothing there. Well, let me show you the secret superpower of the PixiEditor, and that is this is graph or node driven. I'm going to click on this guy over here, and here is the graph node controlling that. By the way, they've added this mushroom thing here, like this tutorial thing that guides you through. You can turn it off, by the way, if you hate it. But as you can see here, you've actually got this node-driven version, so your original sprite comes in, create it, modify it, and you do like the graphics on it and so on, separate the colors out, combine the colors back together, lerp over time, separate colors, combine them back together. There is your end result. We merge it in with the background environment right there, so you got your background sprite, You can see, again, a preview of what you're dealing with right there. So that is merged with your dynamically updated tree. And then, boom, it comes in there. You can see here various different sprite versions that have the person in the scene. And it is all blended together, merged in, and there is your final output. So you've got this entire graph-driven approach to things. Again, it's a very unique program in that regard. I mean, at the same time, you could use this for creating all kinds of special effects. So, for example, here, if I wanted to drop between these two, I could come in here to the effects like so, and I could even throw a shader in there. So it's that advanced. But I could come in here and do something like, what do I want? I should be able to do a blur of some kind. So let's do a Gaussian blur filter right there, like this guy right here. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in another node of type apply filter like this. So that's my blur. Drop that in there. Let's have our input in. So there is what we're going to apply the filter to. And then our output goes into the background. And there you see we now have a blurry version. And again, I can come in here. I can just change the amount that we blur and so on. So you can use this for applying special effects to your systems as well. But another cool thing that they've added with this particular release is we now here, let's go back and create another demo right here. So let's go ahead and create a new scene. So here we are, a very straightforward starting point. And I'm just going to go ahead and select the drawing tool of some kind, and we now have this right here, which is new brushes. So I can come in here, and let's say I want to do claws. I can basically drag in my claws over here. So let's make those a little bit bigger, like so. So you can easily use them like this. Let's just add a red. So boom. So you got these special brushes, which is kind of neat in itself. So obviously, having special brushes is nothing special. Basically, everything out under the sun has that. So let's come in here, and we're going to right-click that one, and we're going to duplicate it. So now I have two claws, one of which is now local, which you can see over here. And now what I can do is I can edit that. So here is my Pixie clone claws that I'm using as a paintbrush. And let's go check those out in the graph editor, like so. So there, you can see you can now use these node trees to create your custom brush heads. And that's going to open you up to a whole world of options. So you could create these programmatic brushes. So I can have it do automatic blurs in there, or special effects, or math-driven stuff, all here, more or less off of this new graph-driven brush system that there's just saved out as these Pixie brushes, which you could then use to your heart's content. That is pretty freaking cool. So essentially, that is it. This is an application that does a ton. Again, you've got tools here for doing traditional painting. You've got tools here for doing your drawing tools. You've got tools here for doing vector graphics, pixel art, you name it. And then you've got this graph-based system behind the scenes. So this is just an image that's been opened up. It even has a simple graph. So that's what everything you're doing is feeding these graphs as you start working with it. Now, there's another new cool feature that they've recently added as well. And I kind of hinted at it earlier on, but we now have this adjustments layer as well. And it's kind of simple at this point in time, but it is going to no doubt grow over time. So what I can do here is like blurs. So let's change out the tool size of that blur so you can actually see it. So we could do a blur of our image. So there you can see poor Kami's face is blurring away as I go. We also have other tools in here for like sharpening. I don't know if I'll be able to sharpen her face back up from the amount that I blurred, but you got a sharpening tool. You've got a traditional smudge tool in here now. Let's just, again, make that strong enough you can see it so we can smush her face around or make her thighs even bigger if we wish to do so. So this was just been added in a recent release as well. So this program just keeps getting cooler and cooler. And then we got another one that's going to be really cool for pixel art, is you can actually brighten and darken sprites. So again here, so let's say this part right here, I click it, you see I'm brightening it up right there. And then here again, I can brighten anything up. So let's increase the strength so it's more prominent. So here, you can brighten a sprite up like that, like so. So if you want to change the lighting in an area, you can easily do so. But you can also come in here and hold down Control and darken a sprite here too. This is a really cool addition as well. So you got these new adjustment layers that have been there, and then everything you saw that I've demonstrated so far is completely free. And again, this is an open source project under the LGPL license. But you'll also notice it's a commercial program as well. And I like the way they've done this. I think it's a good compromise. What they've given you is very cool. And then on top of that, they have a number of extensions for sale as well, including there's like a founders bundle where you can get everything together. like this founder thing for $47 Canadian, which is probably 35 US. But you see here, they've got extensions like for advanced pixel art, skybox designing, normal map creation, and basic texturing, so you can see your textures live on 3D objects directly inside of it. But none of those things are required. They're good to haves, and it's a way of financially supporting the company behind it. I actually like that approach. Two things, and then again, you can see up here, same thing. It's there as well. I kind of wish it was only in one spot, but that's my only small quibble about this program. I think, again, PixiEditor should be mentioned up alongside all of the other ones I talked about. It is a very powerful tool. That non-destructible procedural node graph on the back end is super powerful and opens you up to do all kinds of things. And then, like I said, they've kind of brought this node-based driven approach to creating your dynamic paint brushes, which is going to open up to a whole world of new options. It works entirely offline. It's available. So if you're interested, you can download it for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, which is, again, a rather cool thing. And yeah, so the most recent version was the PixiEditor 2.1, and the key new feature is that node-based brush engine, which is going to be huge. That's actually a major feature of this. I could see how this, the kind of people that can make geometry nodes sing in Blender will be able to do some amazing things for 2D brushes here. They've also improved their painting engine here, so you got options like stabilizers over time, as well as over distance for the way that strokes work. It's going to have a nicer painting experience for you there. Also, new customization tools there as well. And then some new extensions that they've added in as well. So these are, a lot of these things are like the things like the normal maps, etc. The add-ons that you can pick up. So if you want to do skybox designing, it's right there, etc. So there are extended tools here. Again, I do like the way that they have set this up so that they can pay their developers, but also have a very good and solid open source core. And then on top of that, they are, again, open source. So you see it's available under the LGPL 3 license. If you like what you're doing, do drop them a star. Again, this one is just such a powerful tool that is so under the radar. Like if I was going to ask you guys, have you heard of GIMP? I'm going to say probably 99% of you. Inkscape, 98% of you. Krita, probably 95% of you. PixiEditor, I don't know what, 20% of you, maybe more because I've covered it on the channel a year ago. But in this program, it just keeps getting better. It's expanding at a rate that I find incredibly impressive. And the fact that this thing can do so many things, that you can do, your timeline-based animations here, your pixel art stuff, your vector graphics, and now these improved tools, these adjustment layers for doing lighting and blurs, etc., have been added in as well. This is a cool program that I highly recommend you go ahead and check it out. By the way, if you want to check it out, it is available at PixiEditor.net. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know, have you checked out PixiEditor? If not, are you going to give it a shot? If you do let me know how the experience goes for you. All right, that's it. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.